Hey everybody, I'm Anjanette Levy and I am outside today. How about that? I am trying something different today because I'm out on a grand adventure. I'm putting together a video about where I am and what I am doing. So I hope to have that together soon, and I will be showing that to you and sharing with you at a later date. So hopefully I'll have that all put together for you and I can post that. Yes, beautiful scenery behind me. Please, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button as you come in. Please subscribe and hit that bell. I'd really appreciate it. I'm out and about. I'm not at my house today, but I really wanted to work out alive. And so here I am. I'm online for you. So I'm hoping we don't have any technical difficulties. I've got a backup plan if we do. I've got my phone here ready to go, and I'll log on through my phone if I have to do that. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. How does my mic sound, everybody? I'm looking at your comments. I've got a mic on that I don't usually use. It's a pretty decent mic though. But it was one I could bring along that wasn't my big Shure mic. So please let me know how it sounds. And we're going super casual for the Sunday live today because I am not at my house, but I've got some beautiful trees behind me. And as I said, I am putting a video together about where I am and my grand travels. I got no makeup on, hair's kind of all over the place, but I'm kind of like, it is what it is, right? It's Sunday. So we're going to be talking about the latest in the Bryan Kohberger case. I thought I had this feeling, if I went out of town or did something, went out and about, that some things would happen. I feel like every time I go out of town, something happens in a case that I'm covering, and I knew something would happen. And guess what? Something did. So we've got a couple of new court filings that are, of course, under seal. We've got a new trailer that has dropped for an Amazon Prime docuseries that is coming out on July 11th. I wonder what Judge Hippler thinks about that. Oh my God. And it's got the victims' family members, two of the victims' family members, Ethan's family and Maddie's mother and stepfather, it appears, talking in this docuseries, along with what appears to be Hunter and Emily, who lived in the house next door at 1112 King Road. So we've got that. Plus, we've got video that has surfaced of what appears to be the DoorDash driver, who has the initials MM, the same as Maddie Mogan, but we learned that from some court documents. So it appears that this video, a lot of people are like, oh my God, how did this video get out? This DoorDash driver video, there's a gag order. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with the investigation, first of all. So that's, first of all, how it got out. Second of all, the video that I was sent about this arrest of the DoorDash driver for DUI, it was posted back in October of 2024. So this is separate from the investigation. This isn't like her police interview from the investigation and it's surfaced. So that's no big deal that that's out there. It's a public record. So it looks like an account that gets a lot of police video footage, posted that originally, and somehow people tracked it down and figured out, put the pieces together. Oh, look, it's her. It's the DoorDash driver. And we had heard some rumblings that the DoorDash driver was indeed a woman, a female. So it appears that is correct. So let me say hi to a bunch of people first. Everybody, thank you to Monty for moderating. Thank you to Melmac for being here and moderating. Michelle, thanks for checking in. When you come in and you do the like and the subscribe, guys, and all of that good stuff, please drop in here where you're from too. I love seeing like people from different countries, people from different states, all of that good stuff. I love going back and seeing all of that. And now I'm outside, guys, and now I'm kind of tearing up, I think, because I am outdoors and now my glasses are getting all messed up. So I just had to wipe those off. And it's a little bit noisy where I am too, because I think there's some maintenance people doing some stuff. So sorry if there's some stuff in the background. Dinky Emo TC says, how do you know what Bryan wants? I don't know exactly what he wants, but I think I do because I read the court filings. So I'm going to show you how I think I know what he wants. I don't know exactly what he wants because everything's sealed, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what it says. And so I think we can connect some dots here. I always couch, when I say things, I always couch them when things are sealed, that they are sealed. So we'll go through some of what we can see and what we know or what we can deduce, and we'll go from there. But again, everybody, thank you so much for being here on a Sunday. I haven't ever really done a Sunday afternoon live before. So this will be fun to see how this works out. And I also have to go out and about in a little bit and do some stuff. And happy Father's Day if we have any dads out there. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Guy misses the shelf pope. Well, the shelf pope will be back soon. So don't fret. You'll see Shelf Pope back here in a little while. Great Dane Mom says, I love the outside live. It's too beautiful to be inside. I agree with you 100%. It's so beautiful. And maybe even when I get home, I'll do some outdoor lives too. It's just all dependent on the lighting too, because even outside now, it is a little difficult to see. I've got my screen on full brightness and it's a little hard to see. So you have to kind of be in the shade in order to see some things. Let me go to Vivian. This is so cool. You look beautiful, beautiful background. Thank you. You're very sweet. Yes. No makeup. We're going full all natural today, out in nature. No makeup, no hair products, none of it. Johnny Knoxville says, victims always come last in our justice system. A lot of the victims do feel that way. I hear that a lot from crime victims when covering cases. Coffee Cake says, shameful, it needs to stop. Let's wait till after the trial and then do whatever you need to do. So let's go. The docket is here too. Thank you to the docket for being here as well. Hello to the docket. The docket is here in the house. Again, guys, thank you for being here. If you're watching on replay, thank you to my replay viewers. I love it when I come in and see that people have watched on replay. So again, guys, remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell. I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers. That would be a huge, huge thing for me to hit 9,000 subscribers. Please share the video as well and tell your friends. Trying to grow our little community here. So let's get into what we know. Let's get into what we know. I'm going to share my screen with you really quickly. So last week we talked a little bit about they filed for some testing, the defense did. Independent analysis of evidence is what they filed for. And so the judge, it appears, granted that. So we don't know what they are requesting or what they wanted to analyze. I personally said back then, if it's the sheath, like, oh my God, it's so late in the game for that. You should have analyzed that. That should have been like the day 2 or 3 request for analyzing something. But you never know. Maybe Becca Barlow, the DNA guru on the team, the defense team, maybe they came up with something new. Sometimes experts in the field will reach out to defense teams or even prosecution teams and say, hey, I was kind of reading about this piece of evidence or this case, and we've got this that we can do. And they find out about things that they can do that they didn't know about before. So things do come up in the course of cases. So we don't know what evidence they're looking to analyze and test, but obviously the huge piece of evidence in this case linking Bryan Kohberger to the crime scene is the knife sheath with his DNA on it. So we don't know if that's the piece of evidence that they're analyzing, but that's the big piece of evidence that we know of that they have that connects Bryan Kohberger to this crime scene, at least forensically, the piece of forensic evidence. So we knew that happened last week, and we had already talked about that. Since that time, there have been some other filings that have been put on the docket, and they're kind of interesting. Some of these are kind of like snoozers, like sealed defendants, and everything's sealed now. We're back to sealing everything. Judge Hippler was all like, let's open this up and not have anything sealed. Now we're back to sealing everything, and it's absolutely maddening. But we've got this one. It's kind of a snoozer. Defendant's second amended phase 2 mitigation witness list, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, okay, whatever. You know, it's important, but I don't think anybody's kind of like on the edge of their seat, kind of really looking to dig into the penalty phase experts. We kind of saw some of those names already. You know, the motion to seal defendant's motion in order for independent analysis of evidence. So that's been sealed. Here's where we get into something that's interesting, that it was filed June 11th. Defendant's motion for access and fair investigation. So there's been some speculation that this could relate to the Dateline leak. We don't know if that's what it relates to. It could be. But we know that at the hearing in May, the pretrial conference, Judge Hippler essentially invited Bill Thompson, the special prosecutor in this case, he essentially said, I would be open to you requesting the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate the leak in this case. And Bill Thompson just kind of looked down and kind of nodded slightly, but he didn't really give much reaction like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Or yes, Your Honor, I'll be preparing that request. We've heard crickets. We've heard nothing about this, about whether or not Bill Thompson indeed, because the judge basically was signaling that's what he expected him to do. He basically told him, do it. You know, he said, I'd be open to it. He was politely telling him to do it. To our knowledge, that hasn't happened. We've seen nothing on the docket about Bill Thompson saying, yes, I'd like to request the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate the Dateline leak. We've seen nothing about that. So now we have the defense on June 11th filing a sealed motion. Of course, it's sealed. We all want to see it, but you know, part of me is like, as the media, do we need to go in and file something saying, okay, let's knock this stuff off? Like, come on. You got to open some of this stuff up. Sealed defendant's motion for access and fair investigation. Access to what? Are we talking about, if we are talking about the Dateline leak, are they saying they want access to whatever investigation has happened thus far? Because if you're Bryan Kohberger and Ann Taylor, you're the defense team. Really, if you're the defense team, I mean, Bryan Kohberger is sitting in jail, incarcerated. Like, he's not going to like be a part of investigating the Dateline leak. The lawyers are going to be a part of that. Do they want access to whatever investigation has taken part thus far? Right now, we're kind of all just looking at this and speculating about what might be happening, like what this pertains to. So then right after that, we have an objection. Defendant's objection to release of privileged and confidential work product. What is this about? So why is the defense objecting to the release of privileged and confidential work product? What does this have to do with? Of course, if they have privileged stuff, they're not going to want to release it to the prosecution, and they shouldn't have to. And work product, attorney work product, you don't typically, that stuff is not released to anybody except, like, say you're Ann Taylor and you have work product. I think you would only turn that over, like, say, post-conviction to, you know, other counsel for Bryan Kohberger. Or if you decided to not, you know, decided to step off the case, you would turn over maybe your work product to the attorney taking the case over. Like, you don't turn your work product over to the prosecution. You don't turn it over to the judge, stuff like that. So what is going on with this? They have an objection to releasing privileged and confidential work product. Of course you would. So we don't know what that relates to. Then we have a response on June 11th as well by the state. Response to defendant's motion, RE special investigation. So the special investigation, if you have a special prosecutor and there's a special investigation, that kind of makes you think maybe that is the Dateline stuff. Maybe that is them requesting, since the prosecution didn't, maybe this is them requesting the investigation into the Dateline stuff. Then we have the same day, the state, their response to the defendant's motion for the special investigation, it is sealed. And then we have an order sealing the defendant's motion for access and objection to the court's order. And then they sealed also the state's response to the defendant's motion regarding the special investigation. So as far as we know, and when I say we, all of us, me, as far as we know, they still have not determined the source or sources of the leaks of the Dateline investigation, or the Dateline leak. No one's determined that as far as we know. If the prosecution has determined it, they haven't told anybody. And they even said in their opposition to the defense's request for a continuance that they're committed to upholding the non-dissemination order and figuring out the source or sources of the leak. So they're committed still to determining that, to helping figure that out. So they haven't said they've figured it out yet. And again, I don't think it's that big of a circle of people that would have had access to that material that was leaked when you take into account the video from 1112 King Road, the stuff from Bryan Kohberger's phone, the Google searches, things like that, the Amazon records. You don't just hand all of that stuff out willy-nilly to everybody dealing with this case. So we have the fact that Bryan Kohberger, his team, has requested access and a fair investigation. And then they're objecting to handing over work product. So what do you guys think of all that? I'm going to go back over here now that I've looked at all of this, and I'm going to look at some of your comments because we have definitely we've definitely got some new information coming out here. Let me scroll up so I can get to the beginning of your comments. I love now that we have the comments appearing on the screen. This is brand new. I did not know that until recently that this is happening. Holly says, Anjanette, what do you make of the DoorDash driver? Okay, we're going to get to that, Holly. Sorry. Holly, we're going to get to the DoorDash driver. But Holly says, what do you make of the DoorDash driver, Molly body cam footage about her being a witness in trial and seeking BK outside the home? Or seeing, I'm sorry, there's a spot on my laptop screen. Seeing BK to outside the home, it's on the YouTube. Yes, I've got that pulled up. We're going to get to that. Sorry. So what do you think? Do you all think that basically this is Bryan Kohberger because the prosecution, to our knowledge, did not request the appointment of a special prosecutor? Is the defense finally saying, okay, enough? It's been a month. We're requesting the special prosecutor and we want access. This is what I'm putting together. We want access to whatever investigation has been done thus far into who the leak is, because Ann Taylor had written in her request for a continuance, which, was a 40-page indexed thing. And she was writing all of these things about why she believes they're entitled to a continuance. She said the court and the defense needed time to investigate this. She didn't say the prosecution. She said the court and the defense. So she looks at this as something that the court, the judge, and the defense team need to get to the bottom of, because she sounds like she doesn't trust the state side to get to the bottom of the Dateline leak. So what do you guys make of that? And I'm scrolling through your comments to see what all of you guys are saying about this. Angel says, what will your opinion be if they find out who the blood DNA on the sheath belongs to? That's technically more damning than transfer DNA. Well, Angel, I I guess I always thought, and we haven't heard anything, we've just heard that there was blood on the sheath. I'm thinking since it was a stabbing scene, if I'm the defense and that was anybody's DNA, the blood on the sheath, if it was anybody but a mixture of possibly Maddie and Kaylee, I'd be writing that in my motion and being, that's exculpatory. Why is my guy here? So, you know, I think we would have already found that out. Salty Sleuth investigates. Hi, Salty Sleuth. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you watching. Interesting stuff on the case summary page. I say so too. And it's a shame it's all sealed. I'd really like to read these documents. Johnny Knoxville says, everything is sealed until someone goes to Dateline. LOL. Okay. Jackson Rips Holmes says, I apologize for focusing on appearance, but I am... Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me get down to the bottom. Or I'm scrolling, guys. Johnny Knoxville says Bill Thompson wants the trial to start. Yeah, I think he does want the trial to start too, but I think they have to get to the bottom of some of this stuff. I think they want to, I think they need to get to the bottom of who released the information, because it goes to the motives and credibility of people who could potentially be key witnesses for if they were indeed investigators. I think they got to get to the bottom of this stuff. Kara Garrison, I just want to know if the K-bar sheath they found is like mine with a brass snap, or if it has a stainless steel snap. I think I would have to go back and look at the documents. I think we have to look at that a little more closely. I thought it was described somewhere, so I'd have to go back and look a little more. Johnny Knoxville says the way to avoid more leaks is to start the trial. Geez. Yeah, but don't you guys think that they have to figure out who did the leaking before you start the trial? Wayne B says, who leaked the leaker? It's a good question. Remember, guys, if you're just coming in, I see we've got like 559 people in the chat, which is amazing. Thank you so much for coming in on a Sunday and watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and hit the bell. And hitting the like and hitting the subscribe and sharing the video, that will help it in the algorithm and grow my little community here. Amanda Kay says, I back the blue, the fullest military spouse here. Bryan was framed. So much corruption up there. Okay, interesting. Oh my gosh. Johnny Knoxville says it would be hilarious if Bryan Kohberger went Lori Daybell and was his own attorney. I don't know if that would be hilarious. Lori Vallow Daybell did herself no favors in either mess. Let's see, going through more. Right. So unnamed TC with Avery says, so the body cam video of was actually put out 8 months ago. Right. It was put out in 2024. That's the link that I have that I'm going to show you guys. Correct. Salty Sleuth says it's not common to release work product. Correct. That's attorney work product is something that does not get released. I mean, if another attorney takes over, you might give that to the attorney that takes over, but you're not handing over work product in discovery. That's not common at all. Let's see. True Crime X says, can't wait till Wednesday. It will be about getting that Ridge Road security cam video footage evaluated. I promise. Interesting. I don't know. Oh, it looks like we have a super chat. Sorry, let me get to the bottom here and sorry guys, I'm getting through all your comments. Truth and Transparency, thanks for joining the chat. She says they asked to test the blood on the sheath, the mix of blood on the sheath. That's TNT gas. Interesting. It's possible. I mean, it's very possible, but I would have thought they would have already done that. If there was a mix of blood on the sheath, I would have thought they would have already done that. And if it's on the bed next to Maddie's leg, you would think it would be a mix. You would think that would have already been done, and they would have already done that testing. I'm getting down to your super chat. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I'm getting there. Here we go. Nikki Butler says, and thank you so much, Nikki Butler, Nikki B, for the super chat. Do you know if the 2 survivors will be cross-examined in court? The 8 hours needs explained. I guarantee you that the 2 survivors, DM and BF, will be cross-examined. They will be. I mean, of course they will be. So we know that that's going to happen. And I think that BF, the roommate whose room was on the first floor, of course she'll be cross-examined, but I think the defense will probably go harder at DM because the prosecution has said she's the only living witness who actually saw the man walking through the house on King Road that night. So that's who they're really going to go after, in my opinion. I mean, BF, of course, will be questioned. But BF was on the first floor and she's receiving these texts from DM. I mean, and they were both saying how scared they were too. Nicola Musilova says, Anjanette, when do you think we can expect a ruling on the continuance motion? It could come within a few days. I don't see the judge ruling from the bench. He probably may already have a good idea of what he's going to do. But I wonder how much of a wrench this Amazon Prime show is going to throw into things, because that's something that he has to take into account now. He already knew that the James Patterson, Vicky Ward book was coming out right before jury selection, but now we have a docuseries on a major streaming platform coming out a month before opening statements on July 11th. And we're going to look at that trailer here in just a moment. So why don't we look at the trailer really fast and please drop your comments in the chat about what you think about this Amazon Prime thing, this docuseries coming out. I mean, it looks very well produced. You have Ethan Chapin's parents taking part. You have Maddie's mom and stepdad taking part. And you have Hunter, it appears, who found the bodies of Xana and Ethan, taking part, along with Emily from next door, who was friends with the young women, taking part. So let's put this up on the screen and watch a little bit of it. I don't think we'll get dinged for this. And again, guys, thanks for tuning in on a Sunday. And if you guys like the outside look, I'll do more stuff outside. I mean, it's summer. I'm out and about. So I was like, hey, let's do it, right? Better than being inside. I love being outdoors. Let's see. So let me share my screen here. So let's play a little bit of this. I think that the judge would address each point also, Nicola, he would address each point raised by the defense, because it was a 40-page indexed motion, and she's outlining why she says she needs more time. To investigate. I also thought possibly the independent analysis stuff, maybe it's about those blood spots in the house, the unknown male DNA and the one out on the glove. I could be wrong about that, though. This is all speculation. We're all guessing here. Is that okay? Let's turn that up. It's up as far as I can get it, and I was sent an audio booster, and I think that's in here. I think it's on. I'm kind of still learning how to use stuff. So here we go. Let's play a little bit of this. I'll play about 15 seconds and then we'll stop and chat.
These kids were just having the best time of their lives.
Oh, I think I hit something by accident, guys. I think I hit something that made it go slower. That was okay. So we saw Maddie's mom in there, and I'm fairly certain that was her stepfather when he said, you know, you send your kids off to college. I'm pretty sure that was her stepfather. When I was in Idaho, I actually went to their house. You know, you go and you do some door knocking. You try to get people to talk to you, and that's what you do, right? I mean, you're a news person. You go, you knock on some doors very respectfully. And I'm telling you guys, when I was up there, it was madness. It was madness. So it was a lot to try to get people to talk. It was a lot. I mean, and nobody wanted to talk. So I went to the house and I was not successful. But I did see Maddie's mom. And I did not see her stepfather, but I know what he looked like. And I don't remember if it was because I saw a picture of him online. I might have. I just don't remember. But that's her. I'm fairly certain her stepfather. Sorry, just needed a little bit of coffee. I think I've got the audio booster on, guys. I'm really doing my best here. I have this audio booster thing on. I think it's, boost volume. Here we go. Oh, okay. I think I turned it on. Here we go. Let's try it again. Obviously, very, very well done. This is very well produced. They've got key players in this case. I mean, you've got key witnesses talking to the documentarians, family members. I mean, this is going to be very emotional too. So what do you guys put what you think about this in the chat so far? And then we're going to move on over to the body camera issue as well. Wayne B asks, are they getting paid? I really have no idea. I don't know if they're getting paid or not. And we don't, Emily said, you know, we came to the realization we were being stalked for months. And, you know, we still don't know that. We don't know that for certain. So unless they've got information from police that they know that we don't. So, but I think we need more information still. And this is a trailer. This is a teaser. This is to draw you in and to get you to watch. This is how things work. So let's watch a little more. Okay, so Amazon Prime. I mean, Amazon Prime's a major streamer, major streamer. So it's really a big deal, Amazon Prime. So I mean, Prime is really growing too. I guess if you think streamers, let's think we go in order of streamers. I guess you would think that maybe Netflix is like the big dog, right? They started off with selling or sending out the DVDs by mail order. I remember when I lived in Wisconsin and covering the Avery case up there, and people would do the Netflix and get the DVDs in the mail. And then the streaming stuff became a big deal. So that's, you know, Netflix is the big dog, right? So who's number two? I don't know. Is Amazon Prime considered number two next, you know, when you come down the list? So I think Amazon's just a monster it's a behemoth. So, oh, bye, Truth and Transparency. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Kara says, if that fool did it and they keep playing with a case that is gagged and he walks because of it, you all better not send his butt back to PA. Okay, I don't have anything to do with that. Tara says Amazon Prime is huge in Australia. I look at Amazon Prime as being a huge deal, huge. Layla says she thinks Max is like the second big dog. I think they're all big dogs, honestly. Okay, so you think Max is the second big dog. I still look at Amazon Prime as a big deal, and there's going to be a lot of publicity surrounding this. And it's my understanding that the Chapins took part in the James Patterson book as well. So you've got the James Patterson Vicky Ward book. That's kind of like a companion item along with I thought it was kind of like a partnering type thing with the documentary. Like I thought they were kind of a companion effort sort of type thing. So actually the docket says he's the big dog. So maybe that's the case. So there you go. The docket's the big dog. But you know what I mean. So this is a month before the trial. We've got the Amazon Prime documentary coming out with family members and somewhat, key witnesses in the case. And then we've got the book. And there will be, that James Patterson will be making the rounds on all the broadcast networks and Vicky Ward promoting this along with YouTube. I mean, there will be a ton of publicity. Plus a ton of publicity, I'm sure, to promote the Amazon Prime documentary. So it's going to be a lot. And then jury selection. So we'll see what Judge Hippler does. Plus, Judge Hippler, I would be interested to see what Judge Hippler thinks. Does Judge Hippler think they can start this trial without having a good idea of who violated the non-dissemination order, of who did the leaks? Does he think they can do that? I mean, because it's a question of credibility for any witnesses who potentially violated if they are close to the investigation, because you would think they would have to be to have access to that material. So now let's move on, guys, to this body camera footage that surfaced. It seemed to have surfaced in the last day or two. And it appears that the DoorDash driver, who we've heard a lot of speculation about, the DoorDash driver who delivered Xana's food that morning. We have someone with the same initials, MM. She delivered food. This woman, MM, Molly McMichael, she was referred to as MM in the court documents by Judge Hippler. There's some body camera video. It was posted in October of 2024. And apparently Molly McMichael, was arrested for DUI in Pullman. She lives in Moscow, but she was arrested in Pullman in September of 2024 for suspicion of DUI. And so she seems like she's a woman who has had a challenging past and she's got some issues. So I'm going to pull this up and we're going to watch a little bit of it. And she identifies herself in the footage to police as the DoorDash driver. So let's go ahead and look at this. We'll look at the first part of this and then we'll scroll ahead. And I'll try doing that. I don't know if the booster thing will work on this. So this is going to be kind of hard to hear. But we'll do our best. I've got it turned all the way up on here, but the booster that I've got on the other stuff, I'll see if it'll work on here, but I don't know if it will.
You took a pain pill recently? She's going to do the DUI. She hasn't done it in a while.
Unless you want it, but it's yours if you want it.
We'll just do the possession of her. That's fine. The other way? Yeah.
And what's your name?
What are we doing?
What's your name?
What are we doing?
Well, I was going to ask you if you do some voluntary field sobriety tests.
I can do them, but I won't pass them.
Okay, why won't you pass them?
Because I have fibromyalgia, I have arthritis, I have a lot of issues with my body. It's very broken. I have nerve damage. I went through this with you last time.
Okay. And what's your name?
Molly, my boy has my
Molly.
ID. I'm trying to call my boyfriend. It's his truck. Jimmy. Do you look me over again? Yeah, I'm in Walmart parking lot. The tags, and now they're DUI.
I'm just
DUI again.
510 steps.
Same stuff. Can you get here, please?
Molly did tell me about taking a pain pill.
No, I'm not.
tell you what kind
I'm
of pill.
standing over here in Walmart parking lot. I was gonna take
Molly?
my kid to the bathroom.
Did you say what type of pain pill it was? I'm sorry if I missed it. Was it a
It was a
hydro?
hydrocodone.
Hydro?
Yes.
Was it a 5 milligram or a 3?
No, it's 10
Oh,
milligrams.
a 10
I
milligram.
don't
Okay.
have a 3. I've been on
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
or it's 3. We don't.
I'm sorry. I don't know my pain pills.
I think after that leg thing, it would be really familiar.
No, I try to use ibuprofen and
This is
Tylenol.
two
There's
different.
no way.
Jimmy, this is 2 different ones. Jordan's not talking to me.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward, guys. She then gets to the PD a little bit because I got to get off here in a couple minutes. So let me fast forward. We're gonna get to the PD. They're trying to talk to her. They're trying to help her.
Okay,
And
keep
she's
going.
got some major issues. This is where she talks about this one cop is trying to help her and says, like, I've got experience helping people, blah, blah, blah. And this is where she brings up, I'm the DoorDash driver. And this is why she says she's stressed. She has PTSD, all this stuff.
So, do you think officers arrested you because of your medical conditions, or did you actually use drugs?
I took a pain pill quite a while ago for my back.
Okay.
I've been on them for years and years.
Well, one of the officers also expressed that they believed you're under the influence of stimulants. Did you take a stimulant today?
I took my cognizant this morning. I have an immune system deficiency. I get sick and it gets bad really quick.
So,
When I was in 2003, I was all of a sudden sick, and then within 24 hours, I was put in a drug-induced coma. My right lung was completely filled with fluid. My left lung was completely filled with fluid. We took drug up about over 9 until I was halfway to Spokane, Oregon.
okay.
I have to watch my health be careful.
You have to watch your what?
I have to watch my health be careful.
Okay. What medical conditions do you have?
Bronchitis, I have fibromyalgia, I have
You have so you have arthritis.
rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
My joints are always dislocating. I also, my upper shoulders and arms, I forget what it's called, but they, basically I don't get enough blood flow and then your veins in my arms
Okay.
because my chest is too large. It's cut off all the nerves. I don't work all the time. I don't understand what it-
Did a doctor diagnose that, or?
My doctor, yes, they're all diagnosed.
Okay.
I have PTSD. I have depression. I have insomnia. My husband was murdered in front of me. He was shot 9 times. Our friend
Where did that happen?
in Moscow.
In Moscow?
Yep.
When was that?
Poorly. Yeah, poorly.
Who's your husband?
Charles Michael, he was shot in the head.
Hmm.
And
And
then now I have to testify.
Okay, so she said that her husband, Charles McMichael, was shot in Moscow. That happened in 2013. He was shot and killed. I read an article that said he went to a trailer to change some locks or something, and a guy named Nisbet, I think, shot him. I think he ended up pleading to voluntary manslaughter. She just said, and I know it's hard to hear, guys, I'm doing my best here, and I can try to work on this later. She said, now I have to testify. And she's talking about the trial, the Idaho case. She said, because I'm the DoorDash driver, so.
You have to testify in which murder case? Oh.
The college girl. I think her issues are more than just seeing being the DoorDash driver. She's obviously got some major issues, but let me back this up a second or two. She says, I have to testify in court. Here.
Murder case.
The murder case with the college girls.
Oh.
She said, I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan. It's really hard to understand. I wish they would do something better with these. Like, if you're going to be sitting across from somebody documenting something with a body camera, why don't they do better with the microphones? Like, we got to have better mics on these things.
You have to testify in which murder case? Oh.
She said, I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan, but it's hard to hear what she says after that.
Okay. So you think it's all of those issues that make it look like you're under the influence of drugs? Okay. Molly, how do you spell your first name? And do you have a middle initial? And then how do you spell that? And when's your birthday? 12/29/80. Okay. And do you have a Washington driver's license? Idaho.
So basically, guys, she says, I saw Bryan. I don't think she knew it was Bryan at the time. Even, we don't know. This is her talking to a cop after she's arrested for DUI. She blew like her breathalyzer was 0 for alcohol, which they thought that would happen. They think she's impaired because of other drugs, not alcohol. Eventually, this police officer, when I watched this earlier, just kind of eventually, this is an officer trained to help people and get them help. She just kind of like writes her off and is like, okay, fine, I'm done with you. Let's put you back in your cell, because she seems like she feels like this woman doesn't really want help. I think she's saying I saw Bryan because that's who was later arrested. I don't think it's like she pulled up with DoorDash and she saw whatever she saw, which we still don't know, because the prosecution has said DM's the only living person who saw the man in the house. She didn't say, oh, and we have this DoorDash driver who pulled up and saw a guy in all black. She never said that. She may have seen a vehicle, because if you put it all together, it would have been around the same time as the vehicle. They would have been passing each other, the suspect vehicle 1 and whatever. So she's probably putting it all together. She's saying she's got PTSD and stressed out because of all this stuff. So the docket, thank you so much for the super chat. So that's what we know of the DoorDash driver so far. It's really hard for me to understand exactly what she's saying. Eventually they let her go. They say, you've got court at like 1 o'clock. You got to go to court or you're going to get arrested. They'll put a warrant out for your arrest. So yeah, I mean, people are saying, Curio Chris says she couldn't have seen the killer because they were never there at the same time. Well, we don't know. She may be saying she saw a car. We don't know. She's saying she saw Bryan. We don't know what she means by that. This is a police body camera footage from September of 2024 where she's being arrested for DUI. So she's saying she's stressed out because her husband got killed. She's got PTSD. She's got to testify in this trial. She's stressed out and freaked out. This is obviously a woman who's got some issues and has a lot of challenges. So I think she needs some help. I think she's somebody who needs help. People who struggle with addiction issues, it takes a long time sometimes to get them help. So I think she needs some help. Let's see. Angie Crawford said she saw BK and he drove right next to her. Okay, because I'm having trouble hearing that, Angie. I'm going to have to go back and listen. I had AirPods in this morning and I was literally jamming my AirPods into my ears trying to hear what she was saying. So if they drove if she's saying whomever, suspect vehicle 1 drove next to her, they could have passed each other. I also read another account where it sounded like somebody was saying she said they parked next to each other. I don't know. So I think we just have to figure it out. I think we just have to wait and see, because we don't know what her police statement says. This is her talking during a DUI stop or a DUI encounter. You know, this is not a formal police statement about what did you see. And this is more than a year later. And this is where she's under stress because she's under arrest for DUI. And if she's a DoorDash driver and she's still a DoorDash driver, guess what? You're not getting to do DoorDash driving probably anytime soon because you've now been arrested for your second DUI. So your job is kind of in danger. Guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up. It's been amazing. There are 968 people in here right now, which is fabulous. This has been so fun. As usual, I love always talking with you guys. Remember to please, though, hit that like button for me, please. Subscribe, share the video if you like. Hit the bell so you get the notifications. I'm trying to get up to 9,000 subscribers. That would be amazing if I could do that. But I've got to wrap it up. We've got that big hearing coming up this week. Hopefully we can watch that together. I don't know what my week is going to be like. But if I can get to a place where I can stream that hearing on here, would you guys be interested in watching that with me? If I can stream that hearing and I can sit on here and watch it with you guys, or just comment on it afterwards, would you guys be interested in that? Okay, you guys would be interested in that? Okay. Again, I don't know what my day is going to be like. That's going to be at 2:30, or pardon me, that's 12:30 Mountain Time, 2:30 Eastern Time on Wednesday the 18th. Thursday is like a federal holiday, Juneteenth. So if we had to, maybe we could do it Thursday. I could do it Thursday and we could watch the hearing together and break it down afterward. We could do either or. So I just don't know what, as I said, I don't know what my day is going to be like. But yeah, I would love to do that. We could watch it. We could either watch it live together or we could do a breakdown afterward and watch it. I'm not so sure Judge Hippler is going to rule from the bench. I just don't know. I just don't think he's going to do that, but I could be wrong. You know, a lot of judges on a big decision like this won't do that. They want to do it in writing and issue it in writing and break it down, because really a lot of what is being done is for the record and for appeal. If there is a conviction, especially in death penalty cases, they're always looking to, you know, prepare the record. So you have to do that. You have to be very careful. Again, guys, if you've been watching on replay, thank you so much. I love it when everybody watches on replay. If you are just joining, please go back and watch on replay and give us a thumbs up, a subscribe. Thank you so much to the moderators. Monty has been here moderating. Melmac has been here as well, and the docket. Thank you guys for helping me out as always. And thank you to all of you for tuning in. This has been amazing. Maybe we'll start doing Sunday afternoon lives. We could do like Sunday brunch with Anjanette and the Pope. I don't know. Or we could just do outdoor Sunday lives, because being outside's been kind of cool. It's been a little bit distracting with some of the road noise and stuff, but I'll have to go back and check the sound. As long as you guys think it's been okay, maybe we'll do more of these outdoor lives. So, all right, guys, we shall meet again. Thanks again. Have a great afternoon. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.